Julie joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So new guidelines today, the raising of red flags if patients aren't getting the care that you would expect. What do you think about these measures?
Well, it's a huge step forward because we've never had a benchmark, the number of nurses to each patient. It's a start. What we've got to bear in mind is staffing levels aren't everything. The skill mix has got to be right. But it's a start, and it gives power to the patient but also to the nurses themselves. We've expected our nurses to work on wards. There haven't been enough of them.
Yeah.
Each failing that's been identified, short staffing has come, it's come down to short staffing. That's been identified in each case, each failure that we've heard about.
Julie, do you think if these guidelines had been in place when your mum was in hospital, she might still be alive now?
I wouldn't say she'd be alive now, but it would have made a huge difference. The skill mix needs to be right. But one thing we need to bear in mind are these are just guidelines, nice guidelines. It's up to the organisations to make sure that this is implemented. That it's up to organisations, the boards, to prioritise safe staffing levels and make sure those wards are safe.
Well, as you say, these are guidelines and it's up to the hospitals. Would you have liked to have seen a sort of minimum staffing level set in stone so that there was no excuse for hospitals to have, too few nurses for the patients that they're looking after?
Very much so. It's going to be empowering for patients, for relatives, because if your ward's short-staffed, you can always approach senior management and ask why.
But but the thing about these guidelines is that leaves it up to patients or up to concerned members of staff, doesn't it? Whereas if it had been enshrined in concrete, so to speak, made statutory, made an absolute
Protocol,
regulation, then other people wouldn't have had to have raised the red flag.
Oh, it would have been wonderful to have set it in stone. But we haven't got that. These are guidelines, but it gives us that little bit more power. And the same for nurses, because they report they're short-staffed. We haven't had a benchmark before. We've had benchmarks for midwives and other areas of nursing, but not on general wards. So it is going to be empowering, but really it's down to that board to make sure that those wards are safely staffed. It's their responsibility. But it does give us a benchmark now that we've never had before.
And that's important, isn't it? Julie, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.